Rabbi Yohanan, Zakkai, among all the sages, and there were a lot of them. He said this: a Gentile who engages in Torah study is liable to receive the death penalty. When I say Gentile, I'm talking B'nai Noach. If you're out there and listening to me, I hope you are. This is what this rabbinical scholar said in his time, as it is stated. He's quoting out of context, of course. Moshe commanded us a law, which is the Torah, that means law, statute, an inheritance of the congregation of Yaakov, my servant Yaakov. You hear that predominantly in the book of Isaiah. Shalom, this is Hakam Yara ben-Emmett again with another exciting video short. Yes, from none other the Torah Watchman Show International LLC. Thank you so much for my growing subscriber base. I could not do it without your encouragement and watching and listening to me. I don't have all the answers, but I have some of the most important answers because I think of the Torah, I think of God on my hands and knees every single day of my life. How I can bless you, how can I speak truthfully, not my opinion. All I care about is the opinion of my God, Yehovah Halahakam Ha'amet. Yes, let's get started. I'm talking about something from a Talmud tractate. Yes, tractate Sandhedrin 59. If you're Christians out there, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. You know what the Sandhedrin was, the judicial court system of the time, 2,000 years ago when Jesus was around. Essentially, it was Pharisees and Sadducees all litigating different Jewish civil disputes and things of this nature. But beyond that point, in the Middle Ages, there were sages of blessed memory and rabbis and hakams, other people discussing the Talmud. The Babylonian Talmud was the first major Talmud edition, literally was written by scribes during the Babylonian exile. That was known by rabbinical Judaism as oral Torah. Okay, you hear about Mishnah Torah, means information about the Torah through commentary. Rashi has one, Ramban has one. What I'm talking about is Sanhedrin, which was written as part of the Babylonian series of tractates, not to Jerusalem, which was not finished. Anyway, I read something from a Talmud update. I subscribed so I can increase my knowledge and be updated on these things, because the expanse of the Talmud literature is immense. Now, although Jewish law ostensibly has no more requirements incumbent on non-Jews, compared to Jews, there are no commandments, kosher root, mitzvot, and things of this nature for non-Jews. In other words, we expect, according to rabbinical opinion, not mine, we expect Gentiles to behave like Gentiles should, okay? Something less than a Jewish high standard of expectation. Just stay with me. Now, Rabbi Yohanan makes this serious pronouncement on the topic of Sandhedrin 59. Before I get to the details, I want to present an historical synopsis on who Rabbi Yohanan was. Of blessed memory, he was well renowned by rabbis today on his contribution to rabbinical Judaism. Stay with me. Now, Yohanan ben Zakkai was a rabbi who lived during the time of the Tanaim. That means essentially the time of the Talmud, okay? The early rabbis of the 1st and 2nd centuries of the Common Era, those whose views were recorded in the Mishnah. He was a student of Hillel the Elder. These are famous people in rabbinical Judaism, and the leading authority of his generation, you know? And he is named in the 2nd chapter of Pirkei Avot as having received the oral tradition from Hillel and his regular interlocutor Shammai, indicating Yohanan ben Zakkai's significance in the chain of rabbinical transmission going back to Sinai. Now listen, let me qualify something, a little footnote here, okay? The claim by these rabbis at this time, namely Rabbi Yohanan, what was passed down from Hillel the elder to the others, originated from Mount Sinai. Now, rabbis, rabbinical Judaism has a theory, but it became their reality because of people of high renown, high regard, Rabbi Yohanan and many others, that the Torah was given to Moshe on Mount Sinai in addition to the Ten Commandments. In other words, he received the separate scrolls or tablets or something. It says clearly in the Torah, he came down with a pair of stone tablets. Those were quickly destroyed because of the golden calf. He had to go back up and get another pair. It was only 2 tablets. There are 2 tablets of 10 Commandments. He didn't come down with any other documents or anything. He certainly didn't come down with a Babylonian Talmud because it hadn't been constructed. Quickly, I heard a story that Moshe actually went into the future to Rabbi Akiva while he was in yeshiva, and actually sat in the back and listened to Rabbi Akiva and took copious notes about the Talmud, and then brought that back to the past of Mount Sinai, and then told all the people about his findings about Rabbi Akiva. Listen, if that sounds ridiculous, it is, because it's not in the Torah. It's something they added to the Torah over a period of time, believed it, passed through tradition, a Jewish tradition of many, many hundreds of years, and it actually was added to halakha and became something that was absolute that rabbis teach in yeshivas today. Now let me continue. In the Mishnah, again, a Mishnah is a synopsis or summary of something else. The book of Deuteronomy is known as a Mishnah of the previous 4 books, okay? So in the Mishnah, he is the earliest sage to receive the title of rabbi, versus Pharisee. Rabbi just means teacher of the Torah or Torah scholar. And is also frequently accorded the elevated title of a Rabban. You hear me, Rabban. That's the highest type of rabbi and scholarly knowledge you could be. Now, what I am about to read to you might change your opinion just a little bit of this Ramban, a great renowned Rabbi Yohanan Zakkai, among all the sages. And there were a lot of them. He said this: a Gentile who engages in Torah study is liable to receive the death penalty. When I say Gentile, I'm talking B'nai Noach. If you're out there and listen to me, I hope you are. This is what this rabbinical scholar said in his time. As it is stated, he's quoting out of context, of course. Moshe commanded us a law, which is the Torah, that means law, statute, an inheritance of the congregation of Yaakov, my servant Yaakov. You hear that predominantly in the book of Isaiah, okay? Deuteronomy chapter 33:4, if you want to see that. It is inheritance known as a morasha for us and not for them. Them, if you understand the target audience, who's speaking, and the people that has been spoken to. So when it says them, it's not talking about us as Jews. Them were Canaanites, were Amalekites, were all these paganistic, evil people who practiced the dark arts, necromancy, sorcery, and other things like this. They believed in multiple gods. Of course, the Torah would not be meant for them because they would treat it as trash and garbage. And they would probably use it against the Jewish people for slander. This is what God was saying at that time. He was not talking about godly, righteous Gentiles who aspire to Judaism for conversion in the future, or simply want to keep the 7 laws of Noah and believe in only one true God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. Ramban devised the 7 laws of Noah, and there are all these 70 minor laws underneath that. The Noahide laws were actually known during this time. Rabbi Yohanan, it was not something mysterious because it's in Bereshit. It's in the story of Noah and his 3 sons when they left the ark after the flood and everything else. We should remind ourselves and be humble to the fact. We were once Hebrew Noahides. Hebrew Noahides, Hebrew by ethnicity. The Pharaoh referred to his slave force in Goshen as Hebrews. Noahides living in Egypt, and only became Yehudim, that means B'nai of Jacob, sons and daughters of Jacob, Yaakov, which originally founded Judea, the southern kingdom of Israel, at the moment Moshe gave his people the 10 Commandments. He educated through God, who is inspired through Moshe, the greatest prophet that's ever lived, the greatest Torah scholar that's ever lived, gave that information to the people, and they not only heard it with their ears, they heard it with their hearts and their souls, and it reconfigured their Nefesh Yehudi to be Jews at that time. And just listen to this. That is correct. We as B'nai Noach were chosen by Yehovah to receive the Torah, but not to keep it hidden up for ourselves and like ransom or something like that, locked away in a Torah ark, but to be the light to the nations that is written in the DNA of our being. It's in our life witness, in our lifestyle choices. It defines who and what we are, the way we treat other people. I hope this brief topic of interest series meant something to you. It blessed me when I read this. This is how you turn something potentially damaging and negative into something positive. Now listen, Rabbi Yohanan, what his statements he said about Gentiles was so scandalous in his time, most every single rabbi said they did not agree. They may have understood why he said it, but they did not agree with it, okay? Because they were trying to reach out, and they had living in exile. You had to get along with Gentiles, and if this leaked out in the Talmud, it would maybe cause a lot of problems for Jewish communities, and anger and resentment and everything else. Rabbi Yohanan was never ever admonished, based on my reading, in Sandhedrin 59 and other Talmud tractates, he was never admonished by other rabbis for fear of Lashon Hara. Okay? Even if it's true by many witnesses, you cannot say anything negative about a rabban. I hope you enjoyed this. Take care. Hakam Yara ben-Emmett signing out. Until the next time. Shalom Aleichem. If you've enjoyed this program, please click like and subscribe.